Hi, so my name is Jon Cleary, and I'm a piano player who moved from England to the city of New Orleans with a desire to figure out what it is that makes the piano playing and the piano players from this city so hip and funky and distinct from everywhere else. And I've been here for about 40 years, and I'm still trying to figure it out, but I'm getting closer by the minute. Um, Little lesson. I'm going to give you a taste of one or two or three of the things that I've picked up over the years, and will demonstrate them to you so you can get an idea of how it works. So, New Orleans music in general covers lots of different bases. We're going to talk about the piano specifically. And in a New Orleans context, you have to remember that the piano is a percussion instrument. And when you play as part of a rhythm section in a New Orleans band, especially if you're playing rhythm and blues or funk, then you're really tied in with the bass and the drums. And in that area, there are lots of different ways of doing it. There are aspects of the drumming here, parade drumming and second line drumming, that inform the way that you play the rhythms. And there are elements of the way the horns blow that affect how you voice the chords. And it's a mixture of those two elements, really: melody, harmony on the one hand, and then percussion and funkiness on the other, that go up to make a New Orleans piano style. So an example of that is something here in New Orleans they call the Big Four. And the Big Four is when you anticipate the four beat in a bar, and you put a heavy emphasis on that. Sometimes, depending on how you count it, it could be a four and. 1, 2, 3, 4 and. 2, 3, 4 and. And that's where you anticipate the one. This is an important aspect of funk, which we're going to get onto in a little bit. The idea of funkiness being where you place an emphasis on some of the weaker beats and make them strong. And in a way, you're turning the feel upside down. And that is something that's very appealing to people who want to dance. And in New Orleans, all music is dance music. Even when it's a blues, people still dance to it. The reason the music is funky is because of the history and the cultural ingredients that go to make up not just the music, but the food, the attitude, the architecture, everything about life in Southwest Louisiana. Because this part of the world is tied in historically with the other great Creole cities of the Caribbean, like Havana, Santiago de Cuba, tied in also with other Caribbean islands like Jamaica and Haiti. And in all of those places, rhythm is very important, of course, because one of the large constituent elements in all of this stuff is Africa. So Cuba is a good example, and Cuban music and New Orleans music have very similar roots, and in some respects are almost identical when you go all the way back. But in terms of a modern piano player, I say modern, talking about the 1950s, like Professor Longhair, the Caribbean influence is very obvious. Stuff like, there's a tradition in New Orleans of music being played in the street, and it's easier to march with brass band instruments and drums than it is with a piano. But the piano is a good instrument in a barroom to imitate what the brass bands do. And I think piano players from New Orleans have always had an element of that. So the bass role, for example, in a marching band will be played by a tuba. And the tuba lines that feature in New Orleans jazz have evolved over many, many decades or centuries from the tuba lines that would have been used in folk music in Europe. And often they would lend themselves to a very simple 1/5 kind of pattern like this. That in itself is pretty boring. But if you introduce the big 4, for example, then you get this. The rhythm that you're playing, the funk, if you like, and remember that funk is something that's very associated with New Orleans and actually has a long history. But the rhythms you play will be coming in a piano are directly linked to the way people play the snare drum in a marching band. And in a marching band, you'll sometimes have 2 or 3 snare drummers, and you'll have sometimes 1 or 2 bass drummers. And once again, they put accents on the off beats, the odd beats. And the emphasis is on the jerky kind of rhythms that make it easier for someone to dance to. And so in that example I just played you is a kind of standard groove for a New Orleans brass band. So and so there you're mixing up an element of the tuba bass, the 1/5 bass line with the big 4, and the little boom 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 feel that you get in a marching band when they're playing either at a jazz funeral or in a Mardi Gras parade or on one of the many street parades that happen here throughout the year for social aid and pleasure clubs. The drums and the piano, as I said earlier on, are very, very closely linked. So it's good if you want to play New Orleans piano to listen to a lot of good New Orleans drummers, because that's where a lot of the ideas come from. New Orleans funk is something that's very popular, but very hard to define. But the piano is a great funk device because it contains all of the elements I've just been talking about: the bass, the rhythm, and the chord progressions, and the melodies and the voicings within those melodies and chord progressions. And funk in its early days was really an adjective that meant something that smelt bad. And it was first used here in New Orleans when they were searching for a way to describe the attitude that the music had. And they said, man, play it funky. Playing like it smells bad. Give it an extra thing that gives it an edge. So that's a very broad descriptive term, but what does that actually mean in terms of playing? Well, we've already talked about the way you break up the 4 beats of a bar and put accents on the odd rhythms, but also the way you voice the chords is important. So in New Orleans music, as in lots of areas of jazz and the blues, there's a gray zone between this note, if we're playing in C, this note, and this note. And you all know that as being C minor or C major. Well, of course, on a piano, unlike horns or guitars or human voices, you can't bend the pitch. And so you have to imply what musicians do in the blues, which is to mix up the distinction between a minor chord, which is a sad chord, and a major chord. And so you do that in the piano by slurring. And that's kind of where you start putting some funk in between the cracks. So if you played a C chord, for example, and you wanted to make that funkier in terms of a New Orleans tune, then you'd slide from the minor third to the major third, and then you might add a 6, or maybe even the piano, you'd use your thumb to play a 6 and a 5, and you get this. You get. If you want to make it even funkier, take that 5 up here and make that a 6. That chord there, for example, is a good funk chord. It's basically a C minor with a 7th and a 6th on top, and then you're voicing the minor third instead of the major third. So that's a broad overview of some of the elements we're going to be fooling with on this. And in the next lessons, we're going to get into a little bit more detail with some more examples for you.